All right, hello. Can you hear me?
You.
All right, yes. It's good to see you again. We can start with some part one as a warm up, like usual. Okay. And the topic we have here is regarding emails. Okay. Do you often send emails to other people?
Uh, not very often, to be honest. I mostly rely on messaging apps for everyday conversation, but when it comes to some formal texting or official matters, I think emails is still my go-to option.
Okay. Instead of formal texting, maybe you can say maybe formal communicate.
Communication.
Yes. Or at the same time, as you can see here, we have the word correspond.
Oh,
Okay, correspondence or formal communication. That's fine. All right, this one, can you help me to pronounce it? This word?
conversation.
Yes, conversation. Perfect. Okay. All right. Do you think sending emails will be more or less popular in your future? What's your prediction?
Mm, I think I think emails will be important to some extent for formal communication, like in business or school. However, for casual chatting, messaging apps will probably continue to dominate in the near future. So emails might become less common
Okay.
in the foreseeable future. I think so.
Okay. Less common in foreseeable future, and sending emails will be pretty much like restricted to formal correspondence only, right?
I think
Okay.
so.
Yes, I maybe be restricted to formal communication. Yes, good one. And let's see. We're done with the topic of emails. Okay. How about this one? Can you remember the dreams that you had at night or something? Okay.
I only occasionally, if I wake up right after the dream, I think I can remember it clearly, but the details usually fade away after a few hours. So
Hmm.
sometimes I uh, take note of my dream and tell it with my friends. I think it's kind of interesting. If it's interesting, I can tell it to my friend.
Okay, tell it to your friends, not with your friends, right? Tell it to your
Yeah.
friends. That's good. All right. So you can remember, you can recall some of the details, but not all of them, right? Okay. And they tend to vanish from your mind pretty quickly. Okay. Or at the same time, you can say, the details of my dreams tend to be very elusive. Have you ever heard of this one before?
Yeah,
Elusive.
oh, I have read this one.
Oh, okay. It's like very hard to find or track down, right? Okay. And do you think dreams have special meanings?
Sometimes, yes, I believe some dreams can reflect our emotions, our thoughts that we may not notice in daily life. But not all dreams are meaningful. Some are just random, and I think they are influenced by things we saw before sleeping. So, just some cases. Yeah.
Okay, yes. When I was younger, the people around me told me that whatever you think in the morning will appear in your dreams at night, or that the kind of thoughts that you have before you go to sleep. Okay, it can also reoccur in your dreams. Okay, that's really good. And you know what? Actually, we have a really good word here. Okay, this one is an advanced one. Okay, premonition. Can you help me to repeat it?
Premonition.
Yes. Okay, it's a strong feeling that something will happen in the future. Okay. Yes. So you can say, oh, dreams can be a premonition of future events. Okay. Yes. 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 Premonition. All right. How about we do one more topic? I will find something a little bit difficult for you. Okay. All right. This one. Okay. Have you ever seen unforgettable and beautiful view or scenery before?
Uh, yes, and I remember I once went to Sabah and saw the terraced rice fields
Hmm.
early in the morning, and the view was breathtaking with the fog and like the sunrise and the mountains. All of them created a magical atmosphere. I think so.
Okay. Magical atmosphere. Or you can say, all right. You use the word breathtaking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, breathtaking and magical. All right, yes, I think that's fine. And would you usually take photos when you see a good view?
Definitely, I think I love capturing beautiful landscapes, especially when the lighting like it just right at the moment, and I think it helps me uh, remember the moment more clearly by like taking some photos.
All right. And at the same time, whenever you look at those photos, it's like you can relive the moments, right? Okay, relive uh the moments. Okay, it's really good. Amazing, amazing. And what is the view like around the place where you live? Okay.
So, I live in a busy city, so the view mostly includes buildings and traffic. But
Mm,
there is also a park nearby my house where I can see some lush greenery and enjoy a bit of nature. Yeah.
okay, so it is like a concrete jungle, right?
Yeah, kind
When the only thing that you can see is like buildings and construction sites. Okay. All right, really good. We have just done some part one, and now we can move to part number two. Okay. What is that? Just give me a second. Yes, this one. I prepare some for you. Okay, good, 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 good. Okay. Yes. You can describe a prize you have received recently. Okay, it can be money, something valuable, or a medal. It can be like a reward. Okay, a reward can be counted as a prize, not necessarily like something that you won at a competition. Okay. S-
of-
All right. Yes.
So one one prize I received recently was the third place award in a Chinese debate competition held
Mm,
at my university. It was a challenging but rewarding experience,
mm,
and winning that prize gave me a real sense of achievement. And
mm,
I think the event took place about 4 months ago, and it brought together students from different departments who share an common interest in Chinese language and public speaking. I had joined the debate team a few weeks earlier, not expect not expecting much, but um, because I wasn't confident in my speaking speed or argument structure in Chinese. However, I wanted to challenge myself. Before the competition, I had spent weeks preparing. I practiced almost every day, I also had watched recordings of previous debates to learn how speaker handle difficult questions under pressure. I think so. And on the day of the event, I was like nervous, but I had to focus. I had to focus, and um, although we didn't win the first or second place, we still managed to earn third prize, which, which was still a big deal for me. And since then, I have felt much more confident and motivated to improve my public speaking and my Chinese skill. And I hope that by next year, I will have joined more competitions and improved even further. Yeah.
All right. Okay. At the end, you managed to use a little bit of future perfect, right? Okay. Really good. A lot of past perfect tenses were included in your answer, which is a good thing. However, when you say like I practiced almost every day, I want to hear the ending sound a little bit more. So can you help me with this one more time?
I practiced almost every day.
Okay, practiced almost every day, right? Okay, really good. We can move on to part number three. So, do you think we should reward children to motivate them to study harder?
Um, yes, definitely. I think a small reward like just a compliment or just like a gift, a candy can um, boost their confidence and also um, create a motivation for children mm, to further to further like uh, im- to further improve and I think mm, rewarding can play a crucial role in cheering people up and also happy and also in helping people to set a bigger goal in the near future. I think so.
All right, good one, good one, good one. You began your answer very well. Okay. However, like in the middle and towards the end, the focus was no longer on children. It was more like
Okay.
people, right? Okay. So you should have focused a little bit more on children because with children we can develop in certain specific ways, right? You can say like they are impressionable, and when we give them rewards, that could help to impart the value of kind of like you put in the hard work and you will be rewarded, stuff like that, to let them know from the very beginning. Okay. And another question I want to ask you is that can first of all, can you hear me clearly? Because in my place it's raining very heavily. Can you hear me
Oh
very
yeah. Oh,
clearly?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. It is raining super hard in my
Oh,
place right now. Okay. So the next question I want to ask is, okay, what if children become too reliant on rewards or motivation? Okay, how could parents balance that?
thank you. But I think like if children rely too much on gift or like rewards, they can lose their motivation
Hmm,
if they know a word or a prize for them rather than thinking that they can gain some intangible
hmm,
uh, intangible achievements like skill or experience. I think parent actually I right now I can't remember. I can't come up with any ideas to balance it. Maybe mean, maybe
Mm,
they can
mhm.
introduce some techniques or some knowledge that uh, enhance their motivation without some rewards or some.
Okay, okay. Maybe you can think of the types of rewards that they can give.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
Instead of giving something material like money, they can choose to give like compliments or recognition of
All
the
right.
efforts of the children. Okay, they can focus on that, and at the same time, you remember you said something like children need to realize that they have gained something intangible, like the skills they have acquired, right? So
Yeah.
parents should try to emphasize that aspect instead of them giving the children some tangible and material items. Okay. So I write down here how to balance rewards to children. Okay. Okay. I write down here avoid giving them material things excessively, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And at the same time, emphasize the gains they make in the process. And the reason why I asked you this question is because the very first question I did ask you is like should parents give
Oh,
children rewards, right? Okay. And you began your answer by saying yes, okay, it gives motivation, something like that. And after that, you would say, oh, however, you need to be very careful, especially parents with their first children or something like that. They don't have experience, so it's very easy for them to over reward, right? And make their children overly reliant on that. So without me asking the follow-up question, you can still expand your answer in that way. To make it more well-rounded, just like a typical IELTS writing task two essay.
okay.
Okay. All right, really good. We can move on to the next one. Okay, describe an online video in which you learned something from it. You watched a video on YouTube or something, or on any other platforms online. Okay, and you learned something useful from it. Okay, so you can begin. Mhm.
Okay. I want to talk about a video that taught me how to bake a chocolate lava cake.
Mm,
Something I had always wanted to try but never dared to attempt. I came across the video during the pandemic when I was spending most of my time at home. So one afternoon, I was scrolling through YouTube when I uh, accidentally stumbled upon a baking channel called like Bake With Me, and the thumbnail looked so mouth-watering that I immediately clicked on. Uh, Clicked on it, and before that I had only ever baked simple things like cookies or muffins, but nothing as fancy as the lava cake. So the host of video was really engaging and explained everything step by step. He also used high quality visuals and even included helpful tips like how to tell when the cake is perfectly baked in the center. I followed all the steps in the video, and surprisingly, my first try turned out really well. Um, the smell of the cake filled the whole kitchen, and honestly it was one of the most satisfying things I have ever made. So I clearly remember wishing I had discovered that video sooner, because I had always struggled with baking more advanced desserts, and if I hadn't watched that tutorial, I would have thought the lava cake was too complicated for a beginner like me. And since then, I have watched more of his baking tutorials, and baking has become a kind of relaxing hobby for me. Yeah.
All right, okay, really good. I loved it when you try to add like a with structure, right? I wish I had watched it earlier. Okay, if I hadn't watched it, I would have thought baking something was too advanced for a beginner like me. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Maybe the examiner, they would be very, very, very impressed by your effort to add a lot of tests. Okay, good one. I hope that you can do the same thing in the real test.
Okay.
Truly hope so. Okay, just one thing. Can you help me to pronounce this phrase again? Helpful.
Helpful tips.
Okay, tips. All right. The last time is a little bit like tip. Okay,
Yeah.
tips, right? Tips. Okay, maybe we are in the process of thinking of ideas and trying to get our messages across. So sometimes we overlooked the pronunciation side a little bit. Okay. So in part three, we discussed online video, right? Okay, online video and skills, something like that. So the question is, okay, do you think that people nowadays can learn everything from the internet? You think so?
Uh, I actually not really. I think people can gain a lot of knowledge and instructions from the internet, from the online tutorials, but sometimes for some special specialized um, skill, like I think like handicraft thing,
Mm-hmm.
you need a proper instruction and proper guidance from an artisan and
Mm.
an hands-on um, like hands-on experience when have have you improve your skill and improve your knowledge even faster rather than learning something shortly and quickly from the internet. I think so.
Okay. So you mentioned the aspect of maybe learning how to make a handicraft, right? Like
Yeah,
create some handmade items. So we need someone be by our side and guide us physically,
yeah,
correct our mistakes, something like that. Okay. Maybe learning through a screen is faster, but the effectiveness cannot match that of having a tutor or a mentor instructing you step by step. Yes, 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 really good. It can be effective, for example, like learning a language or something like that, but for something that requires physical interaction and touching, it could be very challenging. Okay, okay, really good with that. Moving on. Describe a time when you missed or were late for an important meeting or event. Okay. When you were not very punctual.
so yeah. So I think um one unforgettable time I was late for an important event was last semester when I
Mm,
had to give a presentation for my communication class. It was supposed to be a group presentation, and I was in charge of delivering the introduction,
mm,
which meant that I had a very important role in setting the tone for the whole session.
mm-hmm.
But the night before, I had stayed up very late to perfect my slides and rehearse my script. I remember I had already been working on the script for a whole week, and I had even practiced in front of my mirror many times to improve my body language.
Mm,
Uh, so as I remember, by 2 a.m. Everything was finally ready and I felt confident. But however, unfortunately, the next morning, while the presentation was about to start, I was sleeping. So
Mm.
my alarm didn't go off because I had accidentally set it for PM instead of AM. Yeah, and when I woke up, I saw the time like 8 o'clock. Mm, I which I I was completely shocked. Because the presentation started at 7:30. I rushed to get dressed and ran out without even eating breakfast. Um, by the time I arrived, my teammates had already started without me. I was shaking with embarrassment. So then I had to apologize to the class and even the teacher. And since then, I have never trusted the alarm alone. Yeah, I think so.
All right. That can be a pretty embarrassing moments. Like
Yeah,
you remember to set the alarm, right? But it is very tricky because we have AM and PM and all that stuff. Okay, it could be scary. Listening to your story makes me scared. Okay, what if I ran into the same problem? It could be a horrendous experience. Yes, really good. Can you help me to pronounce? Can you help me to repeat this phrase? I have.
okay. I had stayed up late,
Mm,
stay up very late.
okay. Yeah, your latest pronunciation was right. Okay, we have stayed up, right? Stayed up, stayed up, stayed up. Okay. Really good. A lot of tenses. Mm-hmm. How about we have part number 3? Do you think people in your country are generally punctual?
So I don't think so. In Vietnam, they um, most of most people tend to be appear quite late in some events and some meetings. I think uh, there are several reasons why they do that, and one of them maybe they will want to gain a lot of attention when they come late in
Mhm,
some red carpet event when they come late and all of the cameras like focus on them. They like that, they love that.
mhm,
I think another reason why is that our country traffic is quite terrible. People tend to get stuck on the road for many hours to arrive on time. So to prevent that, they need to like go out earlier, maybe 30 minutes earlier than the decided decided plan. I think so.
mhm. Okay. You can say just their initial plan, right?
Yeah, the initial.
Initial plan. Okay, okay, okay. When you say like appear in meetings or something, that's fine with the word appear, but most of the time people would use like turn up or show up, right? Okay, show up in meetings or something like that. So do you think that the punctuality culture in Vietnam is lax? It's like
Yeah,
lenient,
yeah, it's quite. I think it's quite lenient,
okay, compared to other countries. So
like
can
Germany.
yeah, Germany, Japan, or things like that. So can you make a little bit of an extension on that as a reason, right? Okay. So you mentioned the fact that people want to seek attention, and you
Yeah.
mentioned the traffic. And how about this as another reason?
Yep. So I think in Vietnam, the punctuality culture is quite lenient. So people tend to be quite like easier
Mm-hmm.
to show up late, and they take it for granted, and they don't feel guilty or even don't apologize for other people who who like came come really early. I think so. It's kind of misbehavior that we need to avoid in professional settings, I think so.
Okay, so generally people expect tolerance from other
Oh,
people, right? Okay. They expect that other people will tolerate, okay, just 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Everyone else is late as well. So just forget it. Okay, we can start now. All right. That's kind of culture.
yeah,
And it has been pretty deep rooted. I think so.
yeah,
Deep rooted and very hard to eliminate. Okay. Yeah, I would say take it for granted, right? Yeah, for credit. Okay. And you can say, oh, this can disrespect other people who are kept waiting.
really.
Okay, who are kept waiting or who have been waiting for someone to turn up, something like that. Okay, yes, really good. Moving on. Okay. Describe a time when you helped a child. You helped a little child. Okay.
Uh, so
Hmm. What is it gonna be?
I think one time I had a child that really stuck with me was about 2 years ago when I was volunteering at a local community center during the summer break. There, there was a small group of children attending free classes there, and I was asked to support one of the tutors with basic reading and some writing lessons. So I remember one particular child, um, which was a shy 7 years old boy named Nam. He was struggling with reading Vietnamese text aloud, and he had been trying to follow along with the others, but he already fell behind and rarely spoke up in the class.
Mm.
Um, one afternoon, while the other children were working in pairs, I noticed Nam sitting quietly in the corner, his eyes like glued to the page, but not saying any word. I went over, sat next to him. I gently asked if he wanted to practice with me. At first, he was hesitant, but eventually he agreed, and I spent about an hour having him like sound out the words and read short sentences. By the end of the lesson, um, he actually read a full paragraph on his own for the first time, and that moment was magical. And since then, I have always believed that a little attention can go a long way with children. So if I hadn't noticed him sitting alone that day, he probably would have continued to struggle in silence. So I wish I had spent more time with him during that weekend. So
Oh,
his confidence was clearly growing. Yeah.
his confidence was clearly growing and
Yeah.
developing. Okay, it's really good. Amazing. What? Just one occasion when you said something like sound out the word. Did you say
Yeah.
something
Right.
like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Right.
And yeah, I think it is okay. It is okay, but it's not the most natural way to say it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can say enunciate the word enunciate. Okay.
Enunciate.
Can you help me to pronounce it?
Enunciate.
Okay, this is another word for pronounce, but pronounce it clearly. Enunciate. And at the same time, you can use word other. Okay. Other is like you pronounce certain things. Oh, here we don't have the verb. Oh, utter as a verb. Okay, utter as a verb. Okay, to say something. Utter. And this is a formal word. Okay. Yes. So yeah, enunciate or utter right here. Okay. How about we continue with a part number 3? Okay, so do you think that most children are willing to help their peers?
Yes, I think so. In most cases, I think children is incredibly innocent, and they like naive, and they can do everything without bad intention. I think so. So uh, they tend to be willing to have their peers uh, in class in some social settings. I think so. But um, however, in some cases like competition, some
Mm,
of children uh, are likely to be competitive,
mm,
and they tend to uh, throwing then tend to throw tantrum to other children to gain the win and to achieve the prize without having other people, other children, yeah, other neighbors. Yeah,
okay, so in competition kind of context, they tend to be pretty selfish, right?
yeah.
Okay, and puts their advantage over that of other students. Okay, so you can say gain an advantage over the rest. Okay, yes, this one. Innocent, not innocent. Innocent.
Innocent.
Yeah, innocent. Okay. This one. Naive. Naive.
Naive.
Okay. Naive, right? Innocent and naive. Okay, so how could parents or society foster a culture of help among children? A culture of supporting others among children?
So
Mhm.
I think the best way to teach a child is through actions, through the real actions. So in the real life situation, parents and even other people in society need to be a role model with the like, um, well-intended activities. I think so. They need to. They should um, have the adults should have other people in front of their children to like teach them follow follow those activities and follow those measures. I think so.
So what you mean is like parents should be the role models, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For children to mirror their
Oh,
actions. Okay. Yes. They could help like neighbors or people in need, like the homeless, etc.
yeah.
And let their children observe that in order to instill in them the mindsets of a maybe a giver. Okay, someone who can give out value to society. Okay. And do you think having more programs that focus on philanthropic
Um,
or what is charitable, okay, actions can help?
yeah.
Okay, do you think having more programs like that on TV or social media can help children to understand the value and everything?
Yes, definitely. I think so. So I think schools or like you said, social medias can promote volunteer work and charitable actions to help children learn the value of teamwork and also the kindness and empathy in an early like from an early age. So, and I also think that's uh, celebrating acts of helping others, or like um, can through some mm, praise or rewards can reinforce this positive behavior.
Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. You show them that these actions can be rewarded, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So they will understand the value and be motivated to do the same thing. Okay, that's really good. You know what? From now on, whenever you encounter a question related to like make someone understand something, right?
yeah,
Or try to convey a message or something like that, you can use what instill in, right?
yeah.
Okay, instill in someone something. Okay, and at the same time, I have this word and I sometimes use it. I don't know if you have ever seen it before, like inculcate
Oh, no.
as a verb. Okay, inculcated means like to insert something in someone else's mind permanently. Okay, like this one, inculcate. I love this one, inculcate.
inculcate, inculcate,
All right. To cause somebody to learn and remember ideas, moral principles. Okay, helping other can be a moral principle, right? Okay, especially by repeating them often. Okay, we can say inculcate a sense of something in someone, or inculcate somebody with something. Okay, maybe I will write down here, inculcate someone with something. Okay, or inculcate something into someone. All right, inculcate. I don't believe that a lot of people use this one. I've never seen
Yeah,
anyone use it. But yeah, this is one of the words that I saw on a newspaper, a journal. So I pick it up. Okay, we can move on to the next thing. Okay, how about this one? It's one person who contribute to society. It can be a normal person or it can be a famous one. Okay.
I,
Oh, yes.
one person who like truly contributes to the society uh, is my uncle,
Hmm.
who works as an environmentalist. I have known him my whole life, and but it wasn't until I turned about 10 that I really began to understand the kind of work he does. Um, Back then, well, while I was staying with him during a school break, I noticed that he had dedicated most of his time to um, raise awareness about plastic pollution. He wasn't just giving speeches or writing articles. He actually was like organizing cleanup drives and tree planting campaigns and even some educational workshops in rural schools. I still remember one day when he came home exhausted from a river cleanup but his face was full of satisfaction. So looking back, I wish I had paid more attention to his work when I was younger. If this is the case, I could have developed stronger environmental habits much earlier in life. Um, Now that I'm older, I have realized that he has inspired not just me, but in an entire community to live more sustainably. So I think for me, he like a silent hero, and he had never searched for recognition. So he's someone who contributes quietly but powerfully to create a cleaner and more sustainable world.
Okay. To create a cleaner and more sustainable earth, right? Sustainable world or earth. Okay. Instead of the word create, we have a better alternative. You can use word like push for, to push for a cleaner and a more sustainable world. Okay. He's like someone who plays a role of a pioneer, trying to motivate people to do the same thing, serve as a catalyst for bigger changes, something like that. Okay, this one, sustainably. We don't say nably, right? Nably, sustainably. Once again.
Then sustain-
Okay. Yes, sustainably. Okay, good one. With part number 3, between ordinary people and government, which party can make a greater impact to society?
uh, uh, I think government, because they have the power to enforce some policies and enforce some punishment towards other people, so they can promote powerful actions through social media and through some national campaigns that can that can have significant impact on the mindset of ordinary citizens. But also, I will also say that ordinary citizens have like collective power that when they hand in hand go in hand in hand with each other, they can make uh, a like they can become a game changer. I think so.
Mm. It's like the government is someone who is the entity which
Yeah.
governs the society that can pass laws, right? But actually, the execution of the law or the rule or the policy, most of the time, it will have to be relied on normal people and their collective power, right? Okay. Regardless of how convincing, let's say, a policy that focuses on environmental pollution is, how convincing it is, without the help and the collective influence of normal people, it cannot be materialized. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can stress the importance of normal people. It's like the government, it's just someone, it's just the entity to create law, but the execution is heavily influenced by normal people. Okay. At the same time, you can use a word like the masses, right? Or the general the public. Okay. The execution of the rule or whatever the policy is. Okay. Okay. Really good. How about this one? Something you received for free. Okay. something you received for free. You didn't have to pay for anything, but you still got some value. A lot of people they they tend to overthink. All right, with this one, if it were me, I would talk about like the upbringing I received from my parents. Okay, I received it for free. Okay, what about you? Okay, something you received for free.
I would like to talk about a free sketchbook, which is a beautiful and hardcover one that my art teacher gave me after a school exhibition.
Hmm.
So I think I received it at the end of my final year in high school. And although it didn't cost me anything, it meant a lot to me personally. At that time, I had just participated in our school annual art showcase, and I had submitted a series of portraits worked I had worked on for weeks. Uh, at that time, I was kind of proud of my work, but I didn't expect any special recognition. But however, after the event, my art teacher came up to me with a wrapped package and said that I did so well. Um, and she gave me that present. When I unwrapped it later, I saw a sketchbook, and along with a like handwritten note inside, I was so touched. And so it wasn't just a gift; it felt like encouragement,
Hmm. Mhm.
uh, like belief in my potential. Since then, I have filled the sketchbook with new ideas and detailed studies. So looking back, I wish I had thanked her more sincerely, but I was a bit shy at that time, so I didn't know how to express how grateful I was. Maybe by next year, I would have kept that sketchbook for nearly 5 years, I know, 10 years, and every time I open it, I am reminded myself that about that generous moment. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you say her generous act, right?
Oh,
I'm reminded. I am reminded by her generous act. Yes, 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 yes. Or at the same time, you say classy act. Okay. Or a classy act. All right. You talk about a sketchbook, right?
yeah.
Sketchbook. Okay, okay, okay. And we have a word here that I want you to pay more attention to.
touched, touched, touched,
touched,
Okay, once again, touched. Okay, touched, right? Touched. Okay. The last time it was a little bit like touch, like R, right? This one, touched, touched, touched. And I have a trick for you. Like if you think this one is a little bit tricky to say, what else can you say instead of I was touched? Yeah, I was moved. Okay, or I was deeply emotion, deeply emotional, deeply emotional. And there was a time where you say, "Oh, I wish I had thanked her more." I wish I had thanked her more. Okay, maybe you say, I wish I had expressed my gratitude. Okay, better, something like that. Wish I had expressed my gratitude better. I wish I had shown her how much I appreciated her gift more. Okay, but at that time I was a little bit shy, so my gratitude was not clearly like conveyed to her. Oh, it's really good. We can move on with part number three. Part three. So, Okay, so do you think most customers will be happy when they receive free gifts from the manufacturers or from the companies who offer services? Do you think that they will be happy when they receive something for free from the providers of the products or the manufacturers?
I think
Mhm.
definitely. Like most of the time, customer appreciate free gifts because they feel like they are getting some extra value without any cost, any like extra cost, and I think that free gift from a company can enhance their loyalty to the brand. So free gifts can create psychology feelings that like being rewarded. I think so.
You say it can create positive psychological
Impact.
impact. Okay, instead of psychology feeling, right? Okay, can create positive psychological impact. So in most cases, customers will be happy, will be satisfied, and will feel like, oh, I've gained something out of my purchase, right? However, are there any cases where the free gifts do not lead to any positive emotional impacts? Are there any cases?
Let me think.
Mhm.
So can't come up any idea.
All right, yes. Have you ever heard of the word discerning?
No, and I haven't heard about this.
Okay, so whenever you mention the buyers or the customers, you can use the word discerning. That means they have good judgment about the quality of something. So if I'm given something for free, maybe with some discerning customers, they will think, oh, it's just a marketing tactic.
Oh,
Ah, and sometimes even like the price of the product has also included the cost
ah,
of the given item, the supposedly free item, right?
yeah,
So
right.
maybe with some discerning customers, they think like, oh, it's just a trap. Okay, it's a tactic. All right, it's a strategy to boost sales, but I'm not falling for it. So in such cases, it may not have a positive psychological impact.
Mm-hmm.
All
Right.
right, so yeah. So most of the time, I always try to encourage you to kind of like think of it like in a more well-rounded way, in a more nuanced. So I was saying like think of free gifts as a marketing technique or tactic, right? Okay. The price of free item, okay, has already been included or something like that. And most of the time, people will have the preconception, the
Yes.
perception that the free gifts are of low or high quality, are of very low quality. Okay. In Vietnamese, we say like the free things are the bad things. Okay.
Right,
Của
right.
của rẻ là của hôi, something like that. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Another question. All right. So the next question is, in what cases should people be worried when given something for free? When they are given something for free? In what cases should people be worried when they are given something for free?
So nowadays, well, I think because of the advancement in technology and AI, many deceiving situation has been happening, and many like a fake call, like the callers pretend to be a shop, like a shop owners, and they use they try to give free things like a prize or rewards to the customer,
Mm.
and most of the time those calls turns out that like a decepts, I think so, scams. Yeah. uh, so I think in those situations people need to be cautious and skeptical about why they can receive free things without doing anything. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, it's really good. You seem to use the word deceive quite often, right? You can say scam for sure, and at the same time, you can use word swindle. I don't know if you have seen it before. Swindle. Okay, this is a word that I like. Swindle, like this. To cheat somebody in order to
Oh,
get something, especially money. Okay. You say swindle somebody out of something. Or swindle something out of somebody.
somebody.
Oh, okay, okay. That one. Swindle something out of somebody. Okay, yes. Deceiving situations. I know what you mean, but just say it can be a trap, right?
Yeah, trap.
Trap, or you can say it is, or they are online frauds. Once again, online frauds. Oh, online frauds. Okay. Or at the same time, you can say it's a con,
Con.
like this. A con. Okay. A trick, an act of cheating somebody. And the ones that play that trick or that con, we say con artist. Okay, con artist. Maybe I will show what it means on here. You can say someone is a con artist. It means they are, mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
a person who cheats or tricks others by persuading them to believe something. Yes,
yeah.
con artist. Okay. Is a cons, or someone is a artist, right? So good. So you mentioned online frauds, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And people need to be discerning. You can use what discerning.
Oh, listening.
Okay. People need to be discerning. People need to be cautious, like you mentioned. Okay. Yes, discerning. Okay, yes, really good. We have some of the good words here that you can learn, right? Okay, our next lesson will be on Saturday, right?
Right.
Okay, on this Saturday from 2 to 4, like usual. 2 to
Yep.
4. Okay, just change the day a little bit, and it's not a big problem to me. Okay. All right, yes, really good. And we'll see each other next time on Saturday.
Yep.
Okay. On Saturday, we will still be practicing. And on next Monday, okay, our last lesson, tutoring lesson. In the beginning of the last lesson, we will still be practicing, but maybe the last 30 minutes, I will give you a mock test in the last 30 minutes and give you the feedback and your estimated score as well.
Yeah.
Is that
Thank
okay?
you. Yes, it's okay.
All right, and we'll see each other next time, okay? On
Yeah.
Saturday. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.